Hey friends, this is Mike Slagle. This is Parable Project Part 1, and I am going to walk through Luke 18, verses 10 through 14 for us, which say this. Two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, prayed thus, God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. The main point of this parable is the need to place our righteousness in God and our hope in Him. Luke says in the preceding verse that Jesus spoke this parable to people who trusted in themselves, rather than in God, and treated others with contempt. You see both of those things in the Pharisee. He's holding himself up as pure and righteous. Look how far above and beyond I have went in the call of the law. The law says fast once a year on the Day of Atonement, twice a week, more than 100 times the requirement. I tithe of everything. You want to come check the product of my garden? I'm tithing off of that. Who's more righteous and holy than I? He's standing in a place of prominence. He wants to be known. He wants to be noticed. He wants people's respect. He wants their admiration. Say, look at how good this guy is. I can't measure up to that. When in fact, the exact opposite is true. And in sharp contrast, we see the tax collector who is not in a place of prominence. He's standing far off. He's off in the corner, if you will, and knows he's in such deep need and dependence on the Lord and crying out, pleading for mercy, from the Lord, and he wouldn't even lift up his eyes to heaven. His posture is entirely different. It's not this self-exaltation, this self-promotion. It's humility. We see this contrast even in the end, that the default state of the human heart is not humility. In the words, for everyone who exalts himself are there, versus the one who humbles himself. Our default state is not towards humility. It's towards self-exaltation, self-righteousness, self-justification. And we all need this reminder. And in fact, this is why I chose the passage. I am all too often prone to trusting in my own efforts, in my own righteousness. And I need this conviction. I need to recognize all the more that I have nothing. God, what can I bring that's going to justify me? And it's nothing, right? Like, we can't do anything on our own that's going to bring us that right standing with a holy God. Like, we're sinful men and women. What can we possibly do? What can we possibly bring to the table that's enough? And there isn't anything. As we mentioned, what is their posture like? What is the content of their prayers? It's pleas for mercy versus, God, look what I did. Look what I do. Tells a lot about their heart attitudes. And oftentimes we won't make it that obvious, but Jesus here is clearly calling out that desire to not only justify ourselves, but even as a piece of that is condemning others. Hey, look how much better I am than this other guy, this other despised member of society. He doesn't get it, but good for you, God, I do. The contrast is evident, and I know I need to recognize that in my life when I'm prone to be judgmental and critical of others in the exalting my own efforts. Thank you for your comments on this video. I look forward to watching your work and commenting on it as well. Finish out the course strong, and I will see your videos soon. Thanks, guys.